I'm attempting to complete every single GameCube game, and I'm using a random number generator to pick the next game. Last episode, we played a cop thriller in Bad Boys Miami Takedown, and in this episode, we're putting our cleats back on with everyone's favorite sports children and playing backyard football. Backyard Football was released on October 8th, 2002, and was developed by Humongous Entertainment and published by Infogrames. This game was fun, but it's just way too easy and doesn't have the charm that the old PC versions have. Before we get started, make sure to like this video because it helps out the channel, and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any of the future games. Without further ado, this is my experience with Backyard Football. In Backyard Football, we're going to go through a season and win the Cereal Bowl to consider this one complete. We start by creating the coach for the team, which I put Reisigo because that's who I am. Then we get to pick our team. We can choose from one of the 32 NFL teams or some of the fake teams that are included. I went with the Oakland Raiders because I've been a Raiders fan for my whole life. We can then decide if we want to pick the first 7 players in our draft or pick our whole team. So I decided to just do a full draft for this season. In our first pick, we choose the best backyard kid with Pablo Sanchez, rightfully nicknamed Secret Weapon. Then we picked our only NFL player for the team with Rich Gannon because I figured we needed a good quarterback to make sure we could score. In the third round, we drafted Mikey Nugget Thomas for our offensive and defensive line because look at that blocking and tackling. The fourth round, we drafted Tony DiVecchio as another solid overall player. Then to add some hippie love, we drafted Annie Flipper Frazier in the 5th round, a very solid kicker for the team and not bad on offense either. In the 6th round, I didn't really have many options left, but decided to pick up Ahmed Axeman Khan because the dude wears headphones while playing every single sport. Then our final pick for our team was a sleeper pick with Stephanie Morgan. She's a bit slow, but overall has good stats. I'm very happy with how our team looked after the draft. In season mode, we have to play 14 games, and this will decide if we make the playoffs based on our record. We can also choose where to play, and if we want to play in the sunshine, the rain, at nighttime, or in the snow. I'll mess with these more when we get there, but it's a cool thing to add. We also started on medium difficulty because I wasn't sure how hard the game would be or how good I was going to be at playing it. Our first game of the season is against the San Diego Chargers at the Dimitri Dome, and the game opens with our commentary team of Sunny Day and Chet You Betcha. Which is cool, but this is the only time they talk. They don't say anything when the game is going on. If you didn't know, Backyard Football plays like any other football game. You can pick your play and then run the play to try and score a touchdown or a field goal. So the gameplay isn't anything crazy, but we only have 5 players on our field at once. So we have 1 lineman, 2 receivers, 1 running back, and 1 quarterback on offense. We also get little cutscenes for players when we start our drive. There isn't much else to talk about for the gameplay, to be honest, until we unlock some special plays, which I'll cover later on in this video. Anyways, we score our opening drive by throwing a dime to Pablo Sanchez, the MVP of the team. Once you score, you get a little dance or motion that they do, and it plays their music of choice. This kind of reminds me of baseball in a way, when a batter comes up to bat. When playing defense, it's the same thing, other than you have to wait before you can rush the quarterback. The players will count down, and once they hit 3 Mississippi, they can then run after the quarterback. The only issue with this is that most plays happen way before that, so sacks are very uncommon in this game. Let's talk about special plays now. When your team is doing either really bad or you can cause a turnover, you can sometimes get special plays. And there are a bunch of different ones that you can randomly get. Leapfrog lets you jump high over the team and into their backfield. Hocus Pocus allows a receiver to disappear and reappear further down the field. And Sonic Boom causes a sonic boom and knocks over all the players on defense. There are ones on defense that can cause the player to fumble no matter what, and even one that will change your players to look like the opposing team, which is one of the most pointless things because the buttons still appear above your players. So it doesn't really do anything. Now that we have all that out of the way, we beat the Chargers 42-14 in a blowout, taking our team to 1-0. Next up is the New England Patriots at Emerald Shores at nighttime. In this game, we start off by returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. This will happen a lot in the future and is one way to make sure you keep the lead after the other team scores on you. We ended up beating the Patriots 35-28, which I think is the closest game we have in the whole season. Next up is a fake team called the Amazing Armadillos, which replaced the Denver Broncos for some reason. We crushed them 49-7. Then we faced the Miami Dolphins in the rain for the first time. And the only thing this really does is cause everyone to fumble the ball all the time. It's actually pretty annoying, but we're still able to win the game 28-17. I fumbled the ball 3 times in this game. Next is the San Francisco 49ers, and we win the game 28-17 as well. Back-to-back games with the same score. Then we play the Kansas City Chiefs in the desert and win 35-13. Nothing really happens in these games, so I'm just going to go through them quickly. Then we take on the Seattle Seahawks in the dirt yards, and we miss an extra point because look how stupid this field goal post is. It's 2 fire exits with clothes hanging over them. But we still beat them down and win 49-17. I'm starting to think that this game is too easy. Next up is the Arizona Cardinals in the snow. This wouldn't happen considering both teams play in the West, where it doesn't really snow ever. And yet again, the snow doesn't do much of anything besides cause people to fumble all the time. I would have played more games in the snow and rain, but it's just annoying that every play can be a fumble. Doesn't make the game very fun. We win the game 42-7 anyways, and move on to the next week, still undefeated. Next game was against the San Diego Chargers again, and this time we crushed them 42-3. Week 10 puts us up against the Bills, and we're still undefeated at this time. I'm pretty sure we already made our way into the playoffs at this point. I also figured out in this game that the juke is super overpowered, and you can just duke the whole team out on the kickoff and punt returns and score pretty much every single time. Look how broken this is. I only use this sometimes because what is the fun in that? We won this game 42-7. Back to facing divisional rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs again. We get an interception in the snow, in the desert again, and win without any issue 42-10. The St. Louis Rams are up next, and we win the game 49-17. So we're scoring more points, but we're also letting more points get scored on us towards the end of the season. Next up is the New York Jets, where we have no issues at all. We force 3 turnovers and win the game 56-10. Next up is our divisional rivals, the Amazing Armadillos, and we handle this one with no problem, 42-14. That's the final game of the season, and we win the BYC Western Division Championship and get this cool little trophy with a bronze bucket on it. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but good, we earned our first trophy of the game. On to the playoffs. We have to face the Patriots in the first round. This is the only team we played all season that gave us any issues. The other teams that made the playoffs are the Jaguars, the Browns, the Vikings, the Rams, the Falcons, and the Cowboys. This time around with the Patriots, we don't have any problems, and we win pretty easily 31-10, causing 2 turnovers in this game. We get this screen congratulating us for advancing to the semifinals. Then we get to Cleveland Browns in the semifinals, and we handle them easily and win 49-21, causing 3 turnovers. We win another trophy for being the BYC champions, which is the same as winning the American League Conference Championship in football, and this one's silver. Off to the Cereal Bowl, where we are going to play the Minnesota Vikings, which is cool because it's a team we haven't played in our season at this point. Are they going to take us down? Let's find out now. The Cereal Bowl opens at a brand new stadium, one filled with a bunch of people. So this is a big thing in the Backyard universe. This is a really nice stadium. Then the game starts and on to the opening kickoff. We receive the kickoff and Pablo, being the MVP of the season, gets the ball and brings it all the way to the house. We get an early 7-0 lead. The following kickoff, we sprint down to the ball carrier and force a fumble that we recover, so we get the ball right back. On the next play, we drop back with Rich Gannon on a busted coverage. Pablo is wide open for the catch and takes it to the house again. 14-0, and we're still in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the Vikings go for a field goal, and they make it. It's 14-3 at the end of the first quarter. This is going to be a good game, I think. But on our next drive, we hand the ball off to Stephanie Morgan on the goal line, and she's able to punch it in for another touchdown. 21-3. On the Vikings' next drive, they hit us with a QB draw, and she's able to run the ball in for their first touchdown of the game. 21-10 going into halftime. Sadly, no halftime show in this game, and we move into the third quarter. On the Vikings' opening drive, we thought we had stopped them to a field goal, but they pull out a field goal fake and hit the receiver in the end zone and score a touchdown. It's 21-17. The game is really close now, but don't worry, when we need a spark from someone, it comes from Pablo Sanchez as he returns the kick after they score. The game is 28-17 now. We get the ball back and run the ball in with Pablo on the next drive. It's 35-17, and I think we're safe now. The game is in our hands. The following kickoff, we force another fumble and recover the ball. 35-17 with 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And out of nowhere, we get another rushing touchdown with Stephanie Morgan to make it 42-17, and we win the Cereal Bowl. We get this cutscene where all the players are jumping in a circle around the trophy, and that's the end of the game. We finished backyard football. We also get a screen telling us, "Congrats, you are the BFL champions." This game isn't bad, but I also think the game is too easy, and even if you move the difficulty up, it only makes your players fumble more often, and the computers will use jukes when carrying the ball. Nothing that really causes you to lose anything. If you want to know what's next, stick around, but if not, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe, like, and share this video, and we'll see you in the next one. We have our list here of everything. And then we got our random number generator at 544. On the count of 3, we're going to find out what we're playing next. In 3, 2, 1. 267. Which is Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Don't know if I've ever played this game. Like this one specifically. But it looks like it's a stealth game. Could be a good time. Never played this one, but it looks like, yeah, that's what's going to be next. Is Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes.